my name is Danielle Neal, and I am a 4th grader at Foxshrine Elementary School. This is David from Foxshrine. Thank you for letting us interview you today to find more about your career as an author. For a question, what are the steps in writing a book?
Well, my wife and my daughter like to go to bed about 9 o'clock at night, and so I didn't have much to do. And I don't go to bed usually till about 11 or so. And so I'm not much on watching television, so one day I had an idea about a story I wanted to write, and so I just got on my word processor on my computer and outlined a short story. And when I wrote that and finished it, I had so much fun that I thought, well, what if this happened in this story? And then when I wrote that part, I thought, well, what if that happened? And it just kept going and going and going until I ended up with my first book here that I've written, and that's called There Will Be a Highway There. And the picture here on the front was taken by Kerry Getz, a local photographer, and he's quite an accomplished fellow. He's a Vietnam veteran. And that's Ben May, a good friend of mine's guitar, and Ben's old gun that's hanging there. So that's the cover photo of the book. So it was just an idea about my grandfathers and my relationship with them, and it started out and ended up in a book. And then after that, I wrote a sequel to it, the rest of the story.
You're awesome. How long does it take to write a chapter?
Well, that depends. Some chapters are easy to write, some are not so easy. The first book, I wrote about half of it, and then I kind of got stalled on it. And a friend of mine that I work with, I'm a special agent for the state. I'm a police officer. I'm what they call special agent in charge. That means I supervise a team of very highly trained police officers. We do identity fraud and title fraud and forgeries and all kinds of things like that. And so one of the guys that I was working with, we were on what they call stakeout, where you sit and watch for bad things to happen. And sometimes that's not so fun because it gets boring. So we told each other stories. So then one story led to another, and I started putting them in the book.
Wow. All right. How many books have you written?
I've written these two books here that I've completed. I've got 2 others started.
Wow. All right. Is it hard work to make a book?
It is something. It's you have to stick with it. It is a lot of work. I wouldn't say it's really hard work if you like what you're doing.
Then it's not hard work.
Well, it's not hard work. A man or a woman who loves what they do to earn their money will never work a day in their life. It's always fun for them.
All right. Thanks. All right. What kind of books have you written?
Well, these books are both fiction, and it's a story of a family, a fictional family, and it's set actually right here in this area, although most of the names of the towns and everything are fictional. As a matter of fact, the cover of the second book here is called Lost Mountain. That's a picture that was taken just right behind Turner Ham store up here. This is on our farm. This is Third Hill that's on the cover of the book, and we live right up here on the hill. And that's a picture that my wife took one pretty autumn morning. This picture here was taken up on at the top of the Craters Road, up at the state line up there where Bill Haviland and some of those folks live. This is the old Turner home up there.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, do you prefer fiction or nonfiction?
I what I really like to when I read it or when I write it, I like what they call historical fiction. I really like the writer James Michener. I've read everything he's written a couple of times, and I like there's a Jewish writer by the name of Herman Wouk who's written War and Remembrances and all that kind of stuff about World War II and the Zionist movement and all that. So I like historical fictions.
Right. So,
Mrs. Knight.
how is having good character important in your job?
Well, characters are a good character for me. Is that what you're saying, or characters in my book?
Like
Characters
character
For me,
Yeah.
well, having a good character is important in anything you do. If you don't have a good character, then odds are you're not going to succeed, and if you do succeed, it will be for a short duration. Everything revolves on whether you're a good person or not in this world, and a person of good character.
All right, thanks. How do you use reading in your job?
In my job, I have to read manuals, I have to read instructions, I have to read emails from my boss constantly, from I have to read governmental surveys, and I use it all the time.
All right. Well, you do write a book. All right. How do you use math in your job?
Figuring up my timesheet.
Yes, true.
No, I use math all the time with various formulas that I have to use on figuring up a lot of very complicated things that we do from time to time.
Okay. So, do you need to go to college?
It's not absolutely necessary, but in the job that I'm in, it's a very good background. It's hard to get hired for my job without college background.
Okay. Do you like your job?
I love my job.
All right.
Yeah. I'm 63 years old right now. I could retire, but I have the best staff that I've ever had. The agents that work for me and my secretary are all just wonderful. And so my job is is a lot like solving puzzles. It's like working crossword puzzles, and it's dealing with people, and you get out and you get to see the country and move around a lot. So I really do enjoy my job.
All right, good. Do you have any equipment that you use in your job that you would like to show us?
Well, none that I brought along in my job. Well, as a writer, I've sold a lot of books, and I hope to sell a lot more. But it's mostly a computer and those type of things. In my job as an investigator, yes, I carry a gun. I carry handcuffs and mace and all those things that police officers carry, and we use a lot of equipment there. For instance, in fuels tax investigations, we do all kinds of things that have a good bit of equipment we have to carry with us.
So you have two jobs going on, don't you?
Well, I've got more than that. I'm also my wife and I and my daughter and I have a farm, and we have cattle and some goats and chickens and all kinds of critters like that. So actually, I don't really look at it as a job. I look at it as my life experience. I enjoy whatever I do, and if I don't enjoy something, then I'll find something else that I do enjoy.
Right.
That's what makes you happy.
Okay. So do you really like writing books?
I absolutely love writing books, and it's quite a satisfaction when you finish it and you actually see it in print, and you get feedback. I've gotten a lot of feedback. You can go on Amazon Books on the computer and type in Dave Kyger. There will be a highway there, or Lost Mountain, either one of these books, and it'll take you right to Amazon Books where they sell them for me. and it's got a lot of comments people write in there. And so far I've got all 5-star reviews on all of them, so I'm real proud of that. But that's very satisfying, and I have people come up to me all the time. Oh, I read your book. I just love this, and I love that, and I love the other. So that's very satisfying.
That's very good. All right, thank you for your time today and for teaching us about your job as an author. This is Danielle signing off for Fox Run Elementary School.